Hello, Marina.
Hey, Adrian. So, did you know that extreme heat not only makes you feel tired, but it actually makes you age faster?
What? I did not know that. Why is that?
Well, they say that you have acceleration of the deterioration of your cells. So it kind of hits you on a cellular level. And they're saying that the extreme heat is as bad for you as smoking or heavy alcohol use.
That's like really serious stuff. We should be aware of that.
Yeah. And you really think about it, where do older people like to go?
They like to go down south, especially during the winter. They all go down south, snowbirds, we call them.
The statistics are really scary when you realize that 12,000 people every year, basically just in the United States alone, will die from heat related causes. I mean, these are deaths that probably could have been prevented by being mindful of what's happening when you are in a heat wave, or sometimes it doesn't even have to be a heat wave. And it could even be during lower temperatures like 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius or even lower, especially if you're from a northern climate and you're not used to it. So it really is about being acclimatized to the heat and to the temperature change. And
Yeah.
that's really what is stressing out older people's ability to
Mhm.
handle the heat.
Yeah, especially like you mentioned acclimatization. We go through seasons, so our body, it's not that good. I knew for a fact that as we get older and the sun can damage skin, right? Can make it older. But I didn't know that about the other stuff. That's kind of really scary, the fact that it can make you age. You're like, we don't want to age, right? I want to go as slow as I possibly can. So this is all you called it heat stress or something like that? Is it like a heat stress? What should we be looking for? Like if we are experiencing any of those symptoms, or even like, let's say if we have to go out for, half an hour, and what are the symptoms that we should be looking at?
Well, this is the tricky part about aging and heat stress. Older people don't always know that they're dehydrated and they're not really aware sometimes that they are heating up. Older people heat up more because we don't have the capacity to sweat as much as we used to, which is good because we save on deodorant.
Yeah, you save on deodorant on one end. On the other end, it doesn't keep you cool because sweating is what cools your body, right? So I guess what you're saying, as you get older, it's harder for us to regulate our body temperature due to an ability to control our sweat glands, or our sweat glands diminish in their capacity to cool us.
Absolutely. So, what should you do? You should definitely turn on your air conditioner.
Yep.
Oh, you
But people who don't have AC, fan, or even just buy a fan, just something that'll cool you off, right?
Absolutely. And a lot of communities have what they call cooling centers. That's not the greatest for people who have mobility issues and can't get to these centers, but let's be good neighbors, everybody, and let's take care of the people around us. Check in on our family members, check in on our neighbors who are maybe senior or have any mobility issues. Make sure they're okay. And just because they have an air conditioner hanging out of the window, that doesn't mean that they actually remember to turn it on, because part of heat stress is cognitive decline. We can actually hallucinate.
Right? Because we get confused. I know a little about cognitive decline, and I guess the heat makes it more prevalent. We know about cognitive decline. Let's not go there.
No, no, that's another topic.
That's another topic we'll talk about. Yeah. And of course, stay indoors. And if you have to go out, seek shade. Shade is a big thing. And I'm
And
glad you mentioned about the homes. People forget sometimes to turn the AC on because you get cognitive decline. So check on your family members, especially the elder ones. Open all the windows. Buy that fan. If nothing else, get a little portable one. You can get them in the dollar store, and they're like a couple of dollars, and just keep it cool. Keep yourself cool.
mhm. And wet compresses, wet your hair and wet your head, and just try to take care of yourself.
And the most important one is drinking water. We need to drink lots and lots of water. When you feel, actually, there's a little saying that says, when you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So you got to keep that water coming.
Yeah. And the other thing is like a frozen dinner might be tempting, but don't do it. It's a good time to turn on your barbecue, cook outside. Don't heat up your house inside. If you don't have to have the oven on, don't do it.
Mhm. And the other thing, if you have to go to the mall or shopping, get a taxi that has AC and don't go on public transport with no AC. Just splurge a little couple bucks and go on a taxi that's AC'd or Uber or whatever is your ride share program and go to the malls. The malls are all AC. They're nice and cool. Or just go to a restaurant and have a meal. That'll cool you off.
Absolutely. And what will happen, the good news is as the summer progresses, we get more used to the heat. We do tend to tolerate a bit better. But a word of warning, and that is if you're on medication, take a look at what your meds say, and often they have to be stored at a certain temperature. They could be anywhere between 60 to 70 degrees. And if your house is a smoking, I'm talking Fahrenheit here, in 85, 90, your meds may be impaired and your body's ability to use them may be impaired. So you may not be getting everything you need for your heart med.
Mhm. And I'm glad you brought up the topic of medication because certain medication do affect, like I know that COPD medication, that reduces your ability to sweat. Beta blockers and diuretics, they make you more sensitive to sun. And I know about antibiotics. You know that firsthand. Do you want to share that story?
Oh, yes. I was in Belize and I had forgotten I was at the very end of a low dose of penicillin antibiotics for my rosacea. And boy, did I get burned. Ho, ho, ho. I've never had a sunburn like that ever. And that was just not being aware of my surroundings and really thinking, paying attention to the meds. But yeah, summer is a good time for you to enjoy the weather, but be be mindful, be careful, and remember that problems can start as low as 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius. They're saying could be the cause of us getting heat stroke and heat exhaustion.
Yep, heat stress. And on that note, that part of aging well is staying cool. And if you don't have any AC or fans, there's always the old fashioned way. Do you remember the old fashioned way, the old fan? How do you keep cool, Marina?
Well, if I don't have my AC on, I have this.
Me too. Guess what? I have one too. Let's stay cool, everybody.